we're about ready to cut some fabric. So while you're waiting for your fabric to be cut, go ahead and take your basket and submerge bottom like ring area. You're gonna go ahead and cut this fabric into some strips. You need to have it about 1 inch. Long fabric is good. Alrighty, so this is a part where you could totally, because it's gonna be woven into your basket, why not write a message on the back side of your fabric? Maybe it's just aspects of your timeline. Maybe it has something to do with the fabric you chose, or maybe it's some story that you remember. Alright, so this time we are going to practice a different kind of weaving. So go ahead and just loop one side over the fabric, over the spokes here. We're going to kind of bunch it up here, and we're going to practice going over and under. So I started over one spoke. I'm going to go under the next spoke. Over a spoke, under a spoke. Over, under, over, and go ahead and tuck that in. Now's the time to tuck that in. Under, over. Alright, so at this point, maybe go ahead and look to the back side, and mine are just perfect here. I can go ahead and tie mine together. While you're waiting, I want you to go ahead and soak some reed while you're weaving your fabric. Alright, so it looks pretty obvious to me that this fabric here is over. So I'm going to go ahead and start here, and I'm going to start under, because remember it's over, under, but it's also over, under. So find a spot where it's really obvious to you. This one looks like it's over, so I need to start under here. The next step, the exciting step, we are going to use reed. When we also make sure that you're using round reed at this point. Alright, now it's not necessary, but it's helpful that you have some kind of clip to anchor this round reed to your flat reed. We're about ready to do some weaving, and I want you to go around and check to see where we should start. So it looks like here, this fabric, the last time it went around this spoke, it was an over fabric. Then this one was under, over, under, over. So find one where the last spoke was covered over. Take your reed, tuck it under, maybe leave a little bit of a little wiggle room here, and you are going to clip it to the reed, and maybe also kind of hold it a little bit just in case the clip is slipping. Alright, now go ahead and do over, under, over, under. And the best that I can, I'm getting this reed snug to the fabric here. Over, under. Oh, here comes the tricky part. I'm going to have to take off my clip temporarily. Maybe hold it with both hands. So hold this little strand here. I'm going to hold it. I'm also going to hold this strand. I'm going to pinch it. Alright, go over, under. Now it's optional. You might want to go back and clip it again. I'll let you decide. So under, over, under, over. I know I'm doing this right because I see that this reed was over on the first time around and now it's under. That's happening because I'm paying really good attention. And also, it's happening because I have an odd number of spokes. Alright, at some point you'll just kind of start to find your rhythm. Meaning you don't even really have to think about it that much. Alright, and then I also want to point out that I have gaps in between my reed. You'll see some baskets that are like no gaps. The artist has really worked hard to have no gaps and really pressed every time, the reed down the spoke. And you'll see some artists with even a larger gap than me. Really, I think any of those are fine. Just try to have it be kind of consistent. So mine right now is being consistent. I have kind of a similar gap on each spoke, and that is perfect. I have to finish my reed here, otherwise it'll come unraveled. So you're going to kind of bend it, almost making like an L or a 7. Kind of bend it. And go ahead and try to feed it through a couple of these reeds here. So notice I did that here. Be close to the light. Okay, cool. Now, that being said, this reed, almost need to do the same thing with it. So maybe you need to clip it a bit. And to be honest with you, this reed is really dry. It's going to be hard to bend at this point. This reed right here is really dry feeling, so maybe dip it in the water a couple times. There we go. Good enough. Cool.